Hello, I'm Phillip Smith, financial planner with Tide Pool Wealth Strategies, dedicated to helping late career professionals navigate the tides of retirement planning with clarity and confidence. This is your retirement planning guide to money management, pursuit of long-term financial growth, and creating an adaptive strategy tailored to your unique and evolving journey. In every episode, I'll share concise, actionable insights to help you plan a retirement of purpose, resilience, and confidence. Welcome to
The Perfect Retirement Plan?
Thanks for joining me for today's episode. It's so awesome to have great listeners like you. Today's episode addresses a question I hear quite frequently. Will Medicare really cover all my healthcare costs in retirement? Short answer, no. And it's not designed to. Let me give you an example. About a decade ago now, I had started work on the health insurance side of the company we were previously part of. I worked with some great insurance agents, Medicare experts, and both experienced and heard quite a few stories. There was a Medicare client of an agent, we'll call the person Tom. He was dead set on Medicare Advantage because of the lower monthly premiums. But once he needed an out-of-network referral to OHSU here in Oregon for an autoimmune disorder, Tom found out it wasn't covered. He either had to switch doctors or pay thousands of dollars out of pocket. That was a tough lesson in reading the fine print.
Yes, the fine print, where all the worst surprises in life live.
Oh yeah, that's why making an informed choice is so critical.
So then Medicare is like ordering a value meal at a fast food place. Sure, it comes with the basics, but if you're wanting fries and a drink, that's going to be extra.
I guess so. And just like at the drive-thru, if you don't plan for those extras, the bill might surprise you. So let's wade into this together and break down exactly what Medicare covers, where it falls short, and how to make sure you're not caught off guard. And if you're finding these episodes helpful, hit subscribe so you don't miss future insights. So we're going to break this down into 5 key areas so you can walk away with an understanding of where your coverage stands and what gaps you might need to fill. We'll cover 5 things today. 1, Medicare basics, what parts A, B, C, and D actually cover. 2, Medigap plans, or Medicare Supplement, how they work and whether they're right for you. 3, gaps and surprises, the unexpected costs that catch retirees off guard. 4, Medicare Advantage, the pros and cons of these all-in-one plans. And 5, long-term care, why Medicare won't cover it and what to do about it. By the end of this episode, you should feel knowledgeable about what steps to take to protect yourself from the biggest Medicare blind spots. Let's start with the basics because Medicare comes in multiple parts and they don't all work the same way. Part A covers hospital stays, skilled nursing facilities, hospice care, and some home health care. This starts at age 65. You just sign up, no cost. Part B covers outpatient care, doctor visits, preventative services, and medical equipment. This one starts at 65 if you are retired or don't have employer health insurance coverage. It comes with a monthly cost, which by default will be deducted from your Social Security benefit once that benefit is turned on. Part C, known as Medicare Advantage, is a private insurance alternative that bundles parts A, B, and D. You still have to pay for Part B, but the need for a separate prescription plan, Part D, goes away. And Part D. This is specifically for prescription drug coverage.
So Medicare is like a build-your-own insurance buffet, except the best parts are a la carte?
Yep, and the government decides what's on the menu. You're really trying to work that food angle, huh? And while Medicare does cover a lot, it's far from all-inclusive. See, here's where things get interesting. The gaps and surprises. Medicare does not cover dental, vision, and hearing. You need glasses, a root canal, hearing aids? Medicare won't pay for it, though some Medicare Advantage plans do offer coverage in these areas. Long-term care, assisted living, nursing home stays, and in-home custodial care are not covered. Part A does cover skilled nursing facilities for a specified period of time. Overseas medical care is another gap. If you're dreaming of an international retirement, Medicare stops at the U.S. border. And then there's high deductibles and coinsurance. See, Part A hospital stays come with a deductible of over $1,600 in 2025, And Part B only covers 80% of outpatient services. You're on the hook for the other 20%, which is where a Medigap policy can be helpful.
It's like basically Medicare's slogan should be, we'll cover some things, but not the things you actually need most.
That is a little cynical. As we age, our medical expenses increase. Our bodies begin and continue to fail. The federal government, via the taxpayer, foots a pretty hefty bill for seniors. And that's why understanding these gaps is so important, so you're not blindsided by out-of-pocket costs. Now, this is where Medigap plans come in and shine. These are private insurance policies designed to cover the costs that Medicare doesn't, like copays, coinsurance, and deductibles. Private insurance companies' plans don't help to demystify the alphabet soup of Medicare. Look them up. There's something like Plan A through Plan N, and most of them aren't even functional or offered any longer. But aside from that, these can be a great option for some. Here are the important things to know about Medigap. It only works with Original Medicare, not Medicare Advantage. There are 10 standardized plans, A through N, each covering different gaps. Medicare Supplement, or Medigap, doesn't replace Medicare Parts A and B. It does work alongside them to help reduce surprise medical expenses and provide more predictable healthcare costs in retirement. The trade-off is that it is generally more expensive in terms of monthly premium than something like Medicare Advantage. And, important to know, the best time to enroll is during your Medicare open enrollment period. Otherwise, insurers can charge you higher rates or deny coverage based on health conditions.
Translation: if you wait too long, they start treating you like a high-risk used car, expensive and full of potential problems.
Pretty much. And none of us want to be thought of as a lemon. And since Medigap doesn't cover prescriptions, like I mentioned earlier, you'll also still need Part D for drug coverage. Now, some retirees do opt for Medicare Advantage or Medicare Part C instead of Original Medicare plus Medigap. These are private insurance plans that bundle Medicare parts together into one policy. It's good to know the pros and the cons of this. Okay, so the pros of Medicare Advantage: often lower monthly premiums than Medigap, includes extra benefits like dental, vision, and gym memberships, and one plan instead of multiple policies. And then there's the cons of Medicare Advantage: restricted provider networks. You can't just see any doctor. Higher out-of-pocket costs for hospitalizations. And plans change every year, meaning your coverage could shift unexpectedly.
Feels like Medicare Advantage is kind of like a low-budget gym membership. Seems like a great deal until you realize half the equipment you want isn't included, or it's always broken. Man, I hate my gym. Everything has a repair sign on it, even the dumbbell.
The dumbbell?
Yep, that too.
Like singular dumbbell. You know what? That's getting off topic. Medicare Advantage can be a good fit if you want lower premiums and don't mind network restrictions, but it's not the right fit for everyone. I wouldn't say it's comparable to a bad gym membership, though. That seems extreme. But long-term care considerations, planning beyond Medicare, is another topic we wanted to touch on. So one of the biggest Medicare myths is that it covers long-term care. It does not. If you need long-term nursing home care, Medicare only covers up to 100 days, and that's only if you meet strict eligibility requirements.
So basically you get 3 months of help and then good luck?
Yep, after that, you're paying out of pocket, unless you have long-term care insurance, Medicaid, or a solid savings plan. So how do you prepare? Consider a long-term care insurance policy if you're in your 50s or early 60s. Or look into hybrid life insurance policies that include long-term care benefits. Or plan to self-fund. In other words, build a dedicated savings bucket for future care needs. Oy, Medicare. I am thankful for the experts in that field. Okay, let's take some action on this knowledge. First, review your Medicare options. Understand what parts A, B, C, and D cover and where they fall short. Second, compare Medigap versus Medicare Advantage. Decide which approach fits your needs best. Consult with a local Medicare expert who is familiar with the options available in your region. And third, have a plan for long-term care. look at insurance options, or set aside savings for future healthcare needs. You can work with a financial planner on this to see how it could all play out financially. Medicare is a great foundation, but it's not a quote-unquote set it and forget it solution. Knowing the gaps and how to fill them can save you from financial surprises down the road. And remember, it's not about having the smartest financial advisor, the most money saved, or the highest probability of retirement success. The perfect retirement plan for you is the one you act on.
It's disclosure time. This podcast is intended for educational purposes only, should not be used for any other purpose. The views depicted in this material should not be considered specific advice or recommendations for any individual, are not intended to be financial, tax, or legal advice, and do not represent Type Pool Wealth Strategies or Cetera Advisor Networks, LLC. For a comprehensive review of your personal situation, always consult with a financial, tax, or legal advisor. Neither Cetera nor any of its representatives may give legal or tax advice. Our office address is 450 Country Club Road, Suite 350, Eugene, Oregon 97401. Securities and advisory services are offered through Cetera Advisor Networks, LLC, a broker-dealer, registered investment advisor, and member of FINRA and SIPC. Cetera is under separate ownership for any other named entity.